One of the toughest decisions in my life at the moment is what coffee to have in the morning. Here are the choices we've got. So, we've got all these basically. We've got some vanilla ones, some chocolate ones, vanilla. Got some chocolate, got some caramel ones, or we've just got your standard coffees but in different flavours. Which one should we go for? I'm thinking this one. Rosabaya. Come on the Rosabaya. Up the Rosa Baya. If I can get it out. Boom. Rosabaya looks very strong.
Hey, what is going on, guys? TalkNorwichCity here, back for another Breakfast with TNC. I hope you guys are doing fantastically well. First of all, I want to say a massive thank you to Akelbridge Inn. Without them, this series wouldn't be possible, and yeah, I just love them guys over there. So go and check them out, links in the description. If you want a meal over the festive period, they're the best place to go. In terms of breakfast today, we've got, we've got a bagel again. I was disappointed in myself that I've had a bagel in 2 Breakfast with TNCs in a row, but at the same time, I don't want to waste food, and these are going out of date tomorrow, so I've got to get that down. We've got ethically sourced apple, fresh from, well, we bought it from a farm shop in Norfolk, but I don't know where it's actually from, might even be from there. And then we've got, as you saw, a cheeky little, I suppose you'd call this, it's not an espresso, but it's certainly not your bog standard cup of coffee, so that's lovely. I can't even remember what it was called now. Go back in the video if you want to know. So yeah, I love bagels. I really do love bagels. It's just how the butter melts into them. It's just wonderful. And I am a fan of the apple as well. I think the apple is very much an underrated fruit. Very versatile. You can chuck it about. You can use it as a cricket ball, a baseball, a football. Or you can eat it. It's very much up to you what you do with it. Anyway, let's get into the news today. This coffee is wonderful, by the way. Some divine coffee beans right there. Yeah, we're going to be starting on the EDP with a very depressing article. It's from the brilliant, wonderful Michael Bailey. He says the headline is, he loves a good headline, this Michael Bailey. From Premier League relegation to impending championship mediocrity, an inexcusable year that should leave nothing at Norwich City taken for granted and supporters deserving better. Hard hitting from Michael Bailey, that's for sure. One of my favourite paragraphs is in this article of the year. It's absolutely brilliant. It says here, what's more and what is different is the impending sense of prolonged mediocrity City could be heading towards. A total erosion of all the good work and the progress the club worked so hard to gain following their pitiful fall into League One. Now, obviously League One was way before this channel started, but I was there, you know, and it was tough. And it doesn't feel like we're going that backwards, but it certainly feels like mediocrity is coming. I've talked about averages, I've talked about mediocrity on this channel countless times before. And by the view of the like rates and the views, people agree with me. You know, people are frustrated with where we're headed. And Michael Bailey sums it up very well there. And I think we're so lucky at Norwich City to have such brilliant journalists, because most of the journalists were fans before. They get it. They get what we want. They get what they write. They're just brilliant. And we've got like 10 gifted journalists at the EDP, at Radio Norfolk, at Mustard, at other places, and it's just really great to have Michael, you know, saying this from a journalist's point of view, kind of reassures you that you're not just kind of a greedy fan, and you do deserve better than this. And it says here that the final line of the article is, no one at Carrow Road deserved a year like 2016. Every single City fan deserves infinitely better from here. We do. We've had relegation, we've had championship mediocrity, and we deserve better. So Michael Bailey, thank you for speaking for the fans there, and I completely agree. If anyone thinks that we're heading in the correct direction at the moment, go to the bathroom, get the biggest mirror, and take a look at yourselves. Right, heart rate has calmed down. The next one is on the Daily Mail. I know a lot of you don't really like the Daily Mail. I don't really, but this is the only place I could find this story, and I wanted to run it. Norwich manager Alex Neil set to allow James Maddison to stay on loan at Aberdeen. So a couple of weeks ago, we spoke about Alex Neil maybe wanting to bring James Maddison back. It seems like James Maddison will now be staying at Aberdeen, where he has had a brilliant, really good loan spell. Aberdeen are currently third in the table. They're 7 points behind Rangers, but they've got a game in hand, so they're chasing that second spot. They're doing really well, actually, Aberdeen, and it's nice to see James Maddison doing well. I think this guy is a big one for the future. When you've got Alex Pritchard, James Maddison, and Wes Hoolahan in the same team, it's going to be very tough for the youngster of that lot to break into the team, and unfortunately it's James Maddison. But Maddison has proved that he can play first team football and to a very high ability as well. So leave him out there on loan. I think that's the best idea here. Leave him out there on loan, keep him progressing, and then hopefully we'll bring him back as a more rounded, matured and quality football player that's going to be at Norwich City for many years to come. Now we're going to go on a bit of a Tim Close spree, because I love Tim Close. I love him. I think he's probably my favourite Norwich player. I bloody love him. I made a t-shirt about him, for goodness sake, and I still got some stock under here that we're going to be selling again after Christmas. But Michael Bailey, it's a Michael Bailey loving today as well. Michael Bailey tweeted, there are quotes in Germany from Tim Close's agent, Gaetano Gialanza, great name. He says his man won't be leaving Norwich City in January. Now, of course, there was so much speculation, not really factual speculation, but just speculation that Tim Close would be leaving. He's far better than the Championship, and he's not even getting played, which is lunacy. But apparently, his agent wants him to stay at Norwich City. So, big up to Gaetano Gialanza. If you want to pop round for a little Nespresso, my friend, the door's open. Come round, have a coffee, and we'll talk about how much we love Tim Close. Apparently, this guy is staying at Norwich City in January. Now, I suppose that kind of throws everything back up in the air, because why is he not being played? Why is he not being played? It can't be because Seb Bassong's a better player, surely. I don't know. We might be seeing him in future weeks. Who knows? And finally, a nice happy story. I always like to end on a happy story, because at the end of the day, life's pretty decent. It's not all about doom and gloom Norwich City. Tim Close, once again, is doing a fantastic thing on Twitter at the moment and on Facebook. He's basically raising money for Nelson's Journey, a charity very close to my heart, a charity we've raised money for on this channel before. I've run 2 Norwich 10Ks. I think we've raised over 600 quid in both of them. And Tim Close is selling, basically, Tim Close air fresheners for Nelson's Journey. All the proceeds go to them, and I'm sure he's going to raise a lot of money through this, and it's absolutely brilliant. And, you know, something that always makes me really proud to be a Norwich fan, despite all of the poor form, is the care that we take within the community. I think that's second to none, and I think that us as a club do that very, very well. The Community Sports Foundation is one of the biggest in the country, and supports the community and disadvantaged children and adults who are needing help so well. And then you've got players like Tim Close who are going off their own back. They don't have to do this. You know, Tim Close doesn't have to do this, and he's going out of his way, out of his time to raise money for what is a fantastic charity in Norfolk. And the reason I love Tim Close, and I think the reason a lot of people love Tim Close, isn't because, well, he probably is the best footballer at the club, but I think he gets it. I think he just gets what being a football fan is. We've got a lot of players at this football club who I don't think get how much Norwich City mean to us. I think Tim Close does get that. You know, when he scored against Newcastle last year, the celebration, he's just a fun guy. And I just love him. I really do. So Tim Close, big up to you, my friend. What you're doing is fantastic. Keep it going. Keep raising money for Nelson's Journey. And so will we here on Talk Norwich City. So a big thank you for watching. This is probably going to be the last one before Christmas. So if I don't see you before Christmas, have a good one. Eat lots of food. And hopefully 2017 is going to be a big year. I'll see you before 2017. Don't you worry. Yeah, a massive thank you for watching this video. Yeah. See you later.
Once upon a time, a fairy tale.